I remember as a child, Mayor Lindsay, and I remember January 1st, when the mayor took office. The unions killed him. Sanitation, transit, and he just gave in, and that was it. That was it. January 1st of this year, all the major unions, contracts expire. What's going to happen?
They're expired now.
Okay, what's going to happen January 1st?
Well, I'm not going to wait till January 1st. I think it's going to be a long night on November 5th, so I'm going to say, which is the election day. On November 7th, I will have a meeting with the union leaders. I want to listen to them about what their issues are. I want them to listen to me and open up the books, as well as talk about what work rule changes I'd like to have. Then, it'll be a big table, it'll probably be bigger than this. We'll all have a glass of wine right after that. And then we're going to sit down, same meeting, and put together a roadmap. Because the workers have been without raises for some as long as 5 years. They deserve to have a raise, and I deserve as mayor to know what my liabilities are going forward. I don't believe for a second that the unions are going to strike. We now have a Taylor law in the state. I will work with the current Attorney General to prosecute immediately anybody. You know, it's even, I found this fascinating, even a union member, a union leader, not a member, but a union leader that even talks about a strike is a violation of the Taylor law. We don't have to implement it that way, but no, we need to work together. Their workers need a raise. We're in a terrible position. We have 153 separate bargaining units in New York, and all of them are without a contract. Teachers for 5 years. It's got to change. We've got to move forward. And the worst part is, we used to have what's called a labor reserve. For every year that you were out, there was money put aside so they can get retroactive pay. That labor reserve was used by Mayor Bloomberg and Speaker Quinn last year to balance the budget. There's zero in the account now. And just to graphically think about this, Koch left one for Dinkins, Dinkins left one for Giuliani, Giuliani left one for Mike Bloomberg used it. It's not there anymore. It's wrong. But that's the you know, I got to work with the cards on dealt.
So you're not worried about turning New York into a Detroit?
No, I'm not worried about turning New York into Detroit, and I'm not worried about making decisions that's one step closer to Detroit. We can't do that. I actually believe we had a Detroit moment in the mid-1970s. We were bankrupt. We were completely and totally out of control. The subways, the graffiti, the crime. We've had our moment. We're never going back.
That's when Jerry Ford said, "Drop dead New York." Right?
That is correct. That is correct. And Abe Beame lost his re-election bid, and Ed Koch became mayor. We absolutely cannot go backwards. We cannot go bankrupt. We've got to negotiate with the unions. We've got to work on the pensions that they have and try to figure out what we need to do going forward. There is an enormous amount that needs to happen. But I'm the guy, you know, my greatest strength, and some people say it's my greatest weakness at the same time, is I'll talk to anybody. And I was known, what a unique thing, I was known in the Giuliani administration as the guy who compromised. The guy who actually sat down with the other side to say, okay, time's up, let's come to a settlement. It happened with Steve DiBrienza, it happened with the unions. That's what I was brought in for. I was the mayor's deputy mayor. I was his #1 person. He knew what I was doing, and he knew why we had to do it. You know, that's me, and I'm not gonna settle for a union leader. You know, if a union leader wants to yell at me and tell me things that I'm not, you know, not going to. His members are going to suffer. I'll go directly to his membership. I'll go to the meetings and I'll talk to the members. They can boo me all they want, the union bosses, but you know, I think teachers need a raise, and I will give them one going forward. But I always remember, I don't represent the union. I represent the people of the city of New York as what I have to do. I'm looking forward to it, actually.